Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Hey traders, let's get into a market update, but also I want to talk to you about why there is possibly going to be a false breakout, bull trap in gold, at least on the short-term levels, and why we're possibly while we're getting ready possibly to have that pullback I've been waiting for in the market. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. Let's actually I'll talk to you about this bull trap pattern that's happening on gold in just a minute, but let's go just look at the actual stock market, see what's actually happening with the stock market itself. All right, so what's happening through here, guys, is we're definitely starting to get like a bit of a bounce through here. Looking at that level from there, we have this lower high from here, as you can see, high, lower high, and then now it's actually coming down. And so again, this was actually expected, as you guys know. I was expecting a bit of a bounce, so now we're getting a bounce from here. What comes? How does this actually bounce from this stock market? We have a low, lower high. Now we're coming down. We're getting a bit of a bounce again, which was expected. And we're actually doing it right at that level there, isn't it? Yeah, that's that level from there. So, and now we're actually starting to, if you look at this trend line, right? So that's that first trend line there that I got, probably that level through there. But notice we're starting to steepen a little bit, aren't we? So we notice now we actually have a bit more, another trend line coming from there. And I'd have to say we're coming down from there to there, from there to there. So that's what I'm looking at from there to there. Traders, and again, traders, like I just got off a coaching session with my coaching clients today, and we're talking about like a lot of things, obviously with the markets and so on and so forth. One thing we're talking about is that challenge that I'm doing. My challenge is, guys, I'm opening up an account with $5,000, and my goal is to turn that into 6 figures and then eventually 7 figures. I'm actually doing that with my own money, and then I'm allowing a small group of people to actually see the trades I'm taking and so on and so forth. So if you're interested in coming along and joining me on that journey of seeing that $5,000 trading account, the trades I take and all that sort of stuff, then that second link in the description, click on that, fill out the application form, and then I will call you to see if you're a good fit for you to come along and join me on that ride that I'm going to be doing myself there. So I don't know how long it's going to take me there, guys, from that 5 through the 6 and 7. It's not a get rich quick scheme. There's a lot of work into it. I've been trading for a long time, right? So I'm not saying you're going to do the same thing. I'm just saying that that's what I'm going to be doing. If you are interested in joining me on that ride, then you can do that by applying on that second link in the description there. But we'll talk about that today. But one thing we're talking about with my coaching clients today is we're talking about how never trading based off what you think, hope, or fear, right? And always trading based off what you see in the markets. And so the big thing that I'm noticing from here is, look at this here, right? We're starting to get a bit of a bounce. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we actually started to get a bit of a bounce back up towards this trend line, back up to there. If I actually draw, like, there's actually possibly a bit of a channel happening as well too. Yeah, look at that. Right, there's a bit of a channel, bit of a channel happening. So we're getting a bit of a support level through here. So I would expect like a bit of a bounce to come out of this level, guys, to actually see this thing start to move back to the upside from here by looking at that again from the S&P 500 there. Looking at the Nasdaq, and remember I talked about this in yesterday's update, right? Like what comes next out of the Nasdaq? We have this level coming down through here, right? And now we have this low point through here. Is this some sort of a false breakout to the downside? What comes next? So the scenarios that I'm looking for out of the Nasdaq is if we start to break above here and we start to do something like this, that's going to show me what? That's going to show me that this whole period through here is a significant low period in the markets. A significant low period. And then we're probably likely to see a really good move back to the upside. Like whole Santa Claus rally is coming to town type thing, right? So that's what I'm noticing from there. When it comes to the trading and stuff like that. But if we don't do that, and if we just hold through here, and then we start to do something like that, then that's when we're possibly going to start to see some more downside to come out of it. Looking at the Dow Jones, and look at the Dow Jones. So if I'm looking at the short-term level on the Dow Jones, so that's that level from there to there. Right, and then there's also another trend line coming down now. There's actually also a bit of a steeper one through here, and I'd have to say it's that one from there to there. So again, a bit of a strong bounce out of the Dow Jones again, which was expected, guys. So we're possibly likely to get even like I'll have to say that's a pretty strong bounce from there. So we're possibly likely to see something like that coming out of the Dow Jones from there. So that's what I'm looking at there, guys. Overall, the market is still down, so it's not a change in trend, right? Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs all the way down, and we're possibly just likely to do what? We're possibly likely to do just another lower high here soon. So let's go look at the actual. I'll start off with the gold market and the gold market. So for the last probably week now, I would say I've been saying, guys, we're pretty overextended, and we're probably likely to see a bit of a false breakout to the upside. Or we're likely to see a bit of a pullback, should I say. I've been saying we're likely to see a bit of a pullback out of this level here. So what's happened now is that we're way overextended. And what can happen sometimes is that the market goes up, has a little pullback, has a little breakout, and then it starts to do something like that on you. Look what's happened through here. Up, little pullback, a little false breakout, and then we do something like that, right? So we see that through there. And the big thing that we see from there is we can see that how this whole resistance point from here has actually done that. But if we look at the hourly chart, look what's happened with the hourly chart now. Now it's failing through here. So if the hourly chart starts to break below here, which I actually believe it will, well, if we start to do something like this, then we're possibly going to have at least a move back down towards these levels from here, possibly down a move down towards those levels from there. And then if that happens, then we're possibly likely to start to see a much, this is probably going to be some sort of end of trend type of move. So gold is possibly looking for, this is actually a massive bull trap, a massive false breakout, end of trend. And we're probably likely to see now this whole movement coming out of the gold market from here now. Again, this is just, it's not a complete crash. I'm looking at an hourly chart here, by the way, guys. So if I look at the daily charts, that would represent, on the daily charts, that would represent looking at something just like that. All right, just a good what? Good pullback before we start to see lots of gaps in gold because there's so much buying pressure. There you go. So we can see that that's what's going on there with the gold market, guys. Looking at the silver market itself, silver's actually been holding quite strong. Look at see, it actually came down, and look what actually look what it actually formed from there. Bam! Look at that there, right? See that there, that little high low from there came down, made the high low, and then it broken back to the upside there. So, traders, if you do need some help with your trading, then that first link in the description, I'm giving away a free trading course. The biggest mistakes you make in the chart reading strategies, trading techniques, my trading system, all that sort of stuff. That first link in the description if you do need some help. If you are losing a lot of money, then that first video, the biggest mistakes you're making, is going to definitely help you out there. So we're definitely holding through here, right? And so, which is really interesting. Do we continue breaking up? But you can see there's really no one in control through here, right? It's like down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. We're definitely going through a bit of a gyrations when it comes to the silver market. Let's go look at the actual mining sector itself. Mining sector now is definitely pulling back, but pulling back a lot slower, right? So we can see we had a strong move down, a strong move up, but now look what's happening through here, right? We're just like slowly going down through here. So that's actually quite a bullish movement, because when the market goes slow, we tend to get something like that out of the markets from there. Let's look at the actual silver mining sector as well. Silver mining sector has indeed just going down. We're still on this overall. The really weird thing about the silver mining sector is that we're still in this massive downward trend, and there's no bullish activity at all through here, right? It's just lower highs, lower highs, lower highs all the way down. And the same for the SIL as well too. Look at this here. Is this going to be another lower high before we continue back down again? So the silver mining sector, guys, is definitely really, really weak. The big thing here, guys, is that the bounce in the stock market was expected, but I believe it's just going to be a bounce and not a complete change in trend. And then, and especially that gold market, the gold market right now, that's more like an end of trend and a false breakout move.